In today's video, we have the post round 3 leading into round 4 question and answer. So these are the questions on my weekly video. And yeah, if you want to ask me a question, I will answer them in a video on the weekly videos. So I think we got 80 comments here, maybe 70 are questions. So we'll go through them and see how we go. So yeah, I think a lot of questions on like Tom Green and Tim English and stuff like that. So we'll get into that. Alex Thomas, always been good to the channel. Alex Thomas does contribute a lot in comments. Enjoy the wrap-up video in a poor week. I feel like I picked too many plays. I wasn't keen on Whitfield, Gordon, Berry, which I'm disappointed in. Still have Whitfield at this stage to spinning down the rucks pretty much to separate at the ranks. I feel like it's cheaper rucks have been very good if you pick the right ones. And yeah, Berry disappointing. I guess the ceiling is still there with Berry, but just doesn't look too good on the eye. Gorn has been okay. Again, his ruck time's going to go, I think it will be up and down. It was up this week in round 3. There will be stages where it goes down. And then Whitfield is, I think we've spoken about Whitfield on the pod a lot, and I don't have any confidence in Whitfield at the moment until I see a role shift where he plays more on a wing up the ground or he demands the ball a bit more. I'm not seeing that enough. I think it's more pure halfback and then hanging at the back of stoppages, trying to get a receive, which is okay, but not as good, doesn't have as many scoring avenues as he used to. So, yeah, I guess, I think these, all were probably, I think Berry was nearly 30% and Whitfield was 50%, Gorn was 40%, so highly owned players. And, sometimes it's okay going with a pack and doesn't do too much damage, so that's fine. Camp P33, thoughts on going Marshall to English, doesn't want to burn any more trades, go down to Wits or Bruce. Go straight to English, get it over with. There's your keeper for keeper. You can keep him in the ruck, maybe you can keep him in the forward line. Get that done, Marshall to English, do it. Ethan Cartledge, hey George, thoughts on Sinclair as a defender pod? Do apologise, there are people that can't stop talking at the moment, but in the background, don't know if you can hear that or not, but yeah, thoughts on Sinclair as a defender pod, relishing the mid-time, possibly a Whitfield switch. So, I'm not too sure on Sinclair. I think he's been good. He was good in the back half last year. We spoke about it on the podcast where what's his role exactly when Zach Jones comes back in? Does he lose mid-time? What happens when Hunter Clark comes in? Like, what is exactly the plan with his role and how does he score in each of the roles? I can't tell you. So I think it's, if you like him, go for it. I'm not sure on what his output's going to be. He's never been a premium for a full season. He looks good though, and his back half of last year was really good, and the Saints look better this year. So I think there's a few things going for him. I just don't know. I liked Sicily, but I think Sinclair's ceiling is a bit higher because Sicily has to play key position here and there. So honestly, I couldn't tell you. I think, I'm not sure. There's a few moving parts that could affect his scoring. I don't know what his output's going to be. I think it'll be 95 plus. I'm not sure though. Yeah, so I do my best. It's hard because when you have 3 weeks of data, it's very hard. It's a bit like Tom Green, who I'm sure there'll be questions about, but it's just like the data just isn't there, and there's a few moving parts with players to come in, so I'm not sure, but he looks good. So I think he'll be good, a decent pick. I don't think he'll flop, but I don't know what his ceiling is. Lockie Breen, thoughts on trading Rochelle? Okay, stop there. Last year with trading rookies early, for me, it was kind of catastrophic, and I've already done it this year, and I hated it, but I wanted to get Patrick Cripps in. With trading Rochelle, he had 20 disposals in round 2, he had 120 score in round 1. The nature of rookies is they're up and down, their break-evens will crash, their break-evens will reset. Rochelle's one where unless he burns out early, I think, he had 20 disposals the week before, so. And even this game, he scored a 30 in the showdown, 35. That was because he lost 15 points from scaling and gave away 50. So could have been a bit more. And he dropped a mark inside 50. Probably would have been, could have easily been a 65 game. So I wouldn't trade Rochelle. I think he's got another 100k in him. I guess English is going up as well. And bring in Bruce. Okay, so Rochelle to Bruce. I guess it depends who you're fielding. If you're fielding someone that you're not confident with at F6, such as Rochelle, I guess you could do it. Grab the points on field. Priest sounds like he's going to solo ruck this week. I think Leon Cameron said Flynn might play, but some insider on Big 40 thinks that it's just Bruce playing this week. So you could wait a week. I'm not sure Rochelle's the one. It could be maybe Hayes gets dropped or something. You could do that. Even then, Hayes will come back. I guess you have 32 trades left. That's okay. 3 trades in 3 rounds. That's pretty good. I'd probably hold off. I'm not sure. I think Rochelle's got another 100k in him, and Bruce is injury prone. So I don't mind it. I think do it if you want, but just remember that Rochelle's probably going to make 100k more at some stage. Yeah, it's hard because we're just predicting stuff. But look, if Bruce gets you, if it means Bruce on field instead of Rochelle, I think it's worth it for the points. So, but it is risky. Christopher Mobus, 2,171, and I was going to whinge about a C O'Neill, but did okay. Still grimacing about keeping Whitfield, and I think he will improve. Thoughts on trading Grundy? Okay, I think I would hold Grundy. And I think Whitfield, I don't think his break-even's too bad, so it could be worth another week, see if he improves. I guess it depends on who you want. I've traded Whitfield. I had him as a trade last week. Now he's dropped a bit of cash. Scored a 95. Should have been... they're not going to get a much easier game than that. Having, Rao Bet didn't even get 20 touches. Took was taken out of the game against Gold Coast at their home game. You want more from Whitfield than 95. So I would hold Grundy, and I would, if you can do Whitfield to someone you like better in one trade, I would. Otherwise, I'm not sure it's worth 2 trades at this point because you're probably cutting a good rookie. I suppose you want to do like Grundy to English for 100k and then go Whitfield to like a Stewart or something. So I don't think I'd do that. I'm not sure that's worth 2 trades, but yeah, if you want to trade Whitfield, I think he's worth trading. Could backfire, but I actually feel okay about trading him. Okay, this is just me saying that's fine. It's okay, whatever. It's whatever. Yeah, I say that all the time. Even in real life, I'm like, yeah, it's whatever. Just no stress, move on, go to sleep at night, and it'll be alright. Richard Bellinger. I noticed McRae was playing wing in the second half and only had 78% TOG. I think that means time on ground. Seems like he was carrying injury. Thoughts? I don't think it... Nothing has suggested injury. I don't know where you got that from. He played wing in the 3rd quarter. He was on 97 at 3/4 time. Played mostly wing, bit of half forward. But yeah, I think that DT Talk, they kind of, and Murray's Magic, those podcasts, they kind of joke about McRae being a bit sooky on a wing, because you see, when he's on a wing and he has to transition, he kind of like rolls his head as if like, why am I on a bloody wing for? So it's quite funny to watch, but I think it's a wing. He won't be majority wing. I don't think you trade McRae. He could easily bang out a 150, but at the same time, it's a little bit annoying that his role is being screwed with, but yeah, not good. We'll see. I guess to just keep an eye on him, but yeah, just a little frustrating. Not a lot you can do about it. I wouldn't be doing anything with McRae. Aaron Mackay. Is it a good idea to go Stevens to Bowie? I have 3 trades used thus far, so will be my 4th. No. Unless Bowie's a keeper, then yes. Bowie is extra 120k. Stevens, well, Bowie's probably going to make what? An extra, maybe gets to 450 at this rate. Not too sure. Stevens extra year in the system. With Stevens, you have to remember he played the Dogs, hardest team to score against away. If he's, don't know if Justin making any plays this week. I think he's a test, but maybe Stevens stays in. If he does, look at the next 3 games: North, West Coast. Hawthorn are okay to score against, but Hawthorn, they're not in the same bracket as West Coast and North anymore. So, still, if Stevens is his name, I would not be trading because he scored 90 the week before. So he is very capable. So no, don't do that. Barnes, keep pushing George. I was ranked 50k, ranked 1, then 20, now 5k. I wouldn't say looking at my team any better than yours. I got lucky this week with Clary captain. Very nice. Where you have Took, who will bounce back. Avoided Rochelle on field 23-27. Very nice score. Huge. Otherwise, teams basically is diff. Basically, I have Gorn and Berry, and I don't have Heaney and Lip. Okay, so we're like the same team basically. You got some points ahead of me, so that's good. I probably need to emphasize banking points more. Because I just haven't been able to bank some points. I've left too much cash in the bank at times. I've stuffed up captains. I've stuffed up rookies. Yeah. Well, I think you're in a good spot. I feel like I'm in an okay spot. I look at other teams, like Ben from Inside. I look at his team, and I'm like, well, that shit's on my team. But I still feel okay where you can make a decent run at it with my team. So I assume you must be in the same spot as well. Having Gordon Berry is completely fine. Liam Dowd. Around top 2k, very nice. Solid start. Keep stuffing up my captain. This is a bit long. Although that one was 4 lines. I remember my uncle used to say, he runs a business and he's like, I don't read emails above 2 lines. This is interesting. Don't bring in Hayes now. No, stick with Dixon. Stick with Dixon. Don't bring in Hayes. Long story short, that's what this question is saying. I forgot to bring... No, don't bring in Hayes now. No. Julie Borbelly. I also traded Whitfield a whole hoping for a decent score. I didn't see the game. I almost went Dawson, but wanted a long-term player. You mentioned he has heaps of clangers. Is the main reason why he scored so low. I can't believe I could have got Hinge, who scored more. Do we need to worry? Love your work. Keep up the great work. Well, for me, okay, so is Hall a worry? That's what this question is. Well, I don't think his AFL fantasy scoring on average is not quite what it was last year. His AFL fantasy scoring was nuts. I think it was nearly 120 average. Right now it's 105 or something like that, but it is 3 rounds in. My concern with Hall, well, there was one effort with Hall where he was standing on the mark yelling at a teammate, and then the player who had a shot at goal just like kicked a goal while Hall didn't even like look at him or bother to run with him. He like had his hands up on the mark and yelling at a teammate. It was a really, really bad look. So hopefully the coach doesn't do anything with that. It does show that with Hall that he cares out there. He's frustrated. But yeah, he had a lot of clangers. I think he was just frustrated this game. He still had the 25 touches. North, my concern is more around North and less with Hall. My God, they were awful. Like, so bad. Oh my God, it was like a training drill. I don't think it's need to worry yet. It's something to keep an eye on if they seem to make any changes to the game style down back or something like that, because whatever they're doing right now is not working. So I think it's something to keep an eye on. But you got to remember, he just scored 2 120. So just keep an eye on it. I think it's not... Certainly wouldn't no way you trade now just because of one bad game. It's just keep an eye on it. What happens if they change anything in defense or anything. But I think it'll be the same. And I think Hall will be fine. Just, yeah, keep an eye on it. Don't panic yet. Or if we need to. But see how it goes. I think the worry is North's fixture is really, really bad. Like, really bad. Like, it's... I look at it and it's like the worst, almost as bad as you can possibly get the next 6 weeks. So that's... I hope they're competitive, and that means that Hall can be okay. But he scored okay in losses last week, so just write it off as a one-off maybe, and then see how it goes. Harry Kitharidis. I gotta stop reading names because I can barely read. I know the feeling George's had him there this week. Is it worth trading Kipkis or Stevens to Bowie? No. The only reason why this could be worth it is if Bowie's a keeper, and I'm not totally sure that's the case because even though he's averaging 99 right now, he's still second year, barely played. Salem has to come back. I don't think it's worth it anymore. Gibcus should make hopefully like 80k more, and Stevens can make 150k if he can have some better scores like he did in round 2 where he scored 90, and he looked really good in round 1 and he looked good in the preseason. So it's just one bad game for Stevens. So hopefully it's not a sign of things to come, but at the end of the day, he's a young player, so see how he goes. I wouldn't be doing that. Callum Brown, Gorn's comment on Jackson being number 1 ruck is a bit of a running joke on the Gus and Gorney pod. Gorn is number 1 ruck. Jackson tends to play more ruck time when the matchup is favourable for him. Okay, that's why maybe I should have taken more notice of that. So I think I said in the video that Gorn said... I read a comment where they said Gorn said Jackson's number one ruck, but I didn't have enough context to it. So yeah, good to know. Thanks for telling me that. That's a bit of a running joke. So yeah, okay, that's all good. Thank you for that info. Joe Coleman, I don't know. Hey George, is moving for Brody a must? Would need to make 2 trades to facilitate the move. No, I don't think he's a top 8 forward. I think you got to remember he probably cemented his spot this week playing against West Coast. They have a role for him. It's interesting that his time on ground was 80+%, but his scoring was, his fantasy scoring was the worst this week. But look, it was against uncompetitive West Coast. I see him averaging maybe 85. As a non-owner, it's maybe I'm being conservative there, and he can go more. He looks okay. I think his running off the ball is not the best. Once they get all their players back, well, Fife is going to be gone for ages. Sarong, who knows how long? Could be this week, could be a few weeks. Mundy's coming back, I think. I think they need him. GWS away. See how he goes against a tough team, because in the preseason he played West Coast twice, and Fremantle have played the Crows, who are weak. St Kilda, who Brayshaw scored nearly 200 on, and they played West Coast again. So he hasn't really played a tough midfield yet. So I wouldn't get him. It'll be interesting to see how he goes against the Giants. If he, is he a VFL player, or can he be really good consistently at AFL level against good teams? I don't know. So I wouldn't worry about it now. He's 300k. If you could do it in one trade, I think it's fine. Otherwise, yeah, he'll be a good scorer. And in the probably till 5 gets back, probably can go 90 or something. But I'd probably just let it go. Yeah, it is. Not owning him is kind of bad at the moment, to be honest. But yeah, I wouldn't use 2 trades to facilitate it. Donkey Kong. Surely every team sits on Took now. I think Took to Clary could be a great move. No, don't do that. Not every team. Look, tagging early in the year is a bit more prominent than later in the year for whatever reason. It happens every year. So, Neil will probably cop a little bit. Maybe O'Connor this week. I know Oliver and Petrarca might have to deal with Ash in round 5. Brayshaw's going to deal with it this week, most likely. So yeah, don't do Took to Clary, nah. Especially if Clary gets tagged in 2 weeks, so it'd be interesting. But yeah, Clary if they start taking Petrarca over Clary, watch out. Clary might go 130. Not good if you don't have him. 2 could be fine though. Respend says Gwan Bruce, Rochelle Doherty, Owens to Hinge. Effectively, I'll be fielding to going Doherty and Hinge over to Conning and Ward. So bank 400, get Doherty in, get Hinge in for Owens. I think it really shores up your on-field. If you're fielding to Conning and Ward might be okay on-field, but it's just the disposal efficiency is not happening. He had a tough fixture against Carlton, but I think he'll start to kick into gear and average like 70 plus for us going forward. Owens hinges a lot. Shelley Doherty. 3 trades and a boost for this. I think it's okay. It's a lot. I think it's okay. I think you're getting a lot. You're banking more points on the field. You can't have DeConning on the field's a disaster. You need to do something about that now. You can't hold DeConning for 4 weeks on the field. I think because of that, I think that's probably the main kicker. Your Hinge over Ward should be better, but rookies are rookies. So look, I think it's okay. Cash in Gorn. I know it probably should have been done last week, but yeah, Bruce is a bit of a risk. Assume you have Cherry in the forward line. I think it's actually okay. Rochelle has a bit more money to make, but probably Doherty's probably going up in price as well, so I think it's okay if you really want Dog. Brisbane Lons. Hey George, is Chris to Dawson more worthwhile trade, or should I hold Chris for now? Nah, I think hold for now. Yeah, hold for now, I guess. I don't know. Chris was driving me nuts, so plays West Coast this week, so I think their break evens aren't super high, so their prices probably won't change too much this week, so maybe just hold off. Marshall, Wood, Owens, Green, Martin, and Bruce. Yep. I don't really. If you have someone better to get rid of than Ward, I would. Otherwise, I think it's okay. I'm still worried about Bruce, and with Tom Green, I decided to go him over Cripper because Cripper's 86% ownership. I still feel like it's a bad pick. I think he's leading the Brownlow at the moment. I'm not sure it's a bad pick. I would still go Cripps over Tom Green, less speculative. So I see a few people making the move to get Tom Green in. I like it. It's aggressive. He looks really good. Passes the eye test. CBAs went up this week. Does anything change with Toby Green coming back in? Does that mean Toronto plays more CBAs in the mid? Does that hurt Tom Green? Maybe. I'd be going Cripps over Green. A bit less speculative. Yeah, predicting breakout's quite hard because I think we've got 3 weeks of data now, and it's like, well, you don't really want to pay $550 for him next week when he's $500 this week. So you got to make the move. It's a really tough one. I think you can I think you could do it. I think you need him to be like top 12 mid at that price. I'm not 100% on Green. I'm not going for it. If I could do it in one trade somehow, like I still had Jared Berry, could go straight to Tom Green, I'd do that. Using multiple trades on someone who's potentially speculative is very risky. Very, very risky. If you're trading like a keeper out to bring a speculative player in, I don't like it. Yeah, I can't tell you if Green is going to continue, I don't know, 115 plus. I can't tell you that. I don't know. He had a hamstring issue late last year as well, which doesn't help. But I think durability's just gone out the window at this point with this game, given the trying to play for upside. So that's kind of the year it is. So if you want to go for Green, go for it. I'm not. But, I'm not against. I'm not going to talk you out of it. It's closer to the real deal than fake, I think. Alex Pasadad. Thoughts on McGovern to Brody? Yes, do it in one trade. Or McGovern to Gibcus. Nah, no reason to get Gibcus in. Not for 200k. Nah. And Blakey to Heaney. Blakey been very good, averaging 91, but now he'll be keeper. Currently have 32 trades in the bank. Well, Heaney floors bad teams. He has a long history of it. He plays North and West Coast next to. Don't be surprised if he goes massive. And I've been pumping him up to destroy North, and it'll be pretty bad if he doesn't, because of the sheer amount of pumping up I've done. Also plays West Coast the week after. So Blakey to Heaney. I mean, it's non-keeper to keeper, so I actually think it's okay. Blakey's fine to hold as well. You could do it if you want. If you've got money there, do it in one trade, I'd do it. And also if you can do McGovern to Broden in one trade, I'd do that too. Using a third boost, well, Blakey's going to make a bit more money, so it's probably not worth it then. Ben Naden. If it's any consolation, I'm top 100 largely based on what you've said. It's really a roulette. Oh, good job, mate. Yeah, well done. Hopefully, always good to see viewers do really well. Yeah, let me know how you go throughout the year. You're in a great spot if you're top 100 now. Really good. So well done. Matt, I need to get Marshall out of my team. Is English the best keeper option at this stage? Yes. Needed 520k player and under. Looking at Tom Green, Pendles, Treloar. Green, obviously highest ceiling. Okay, so Pendles is probably going to be top 10 defender. I don't like Treloar. I don't know how consistent his role will be. I don't trust his body. So I think it's Pendles and Tom Green. And I don't think Treloar's top 6 forward. I think it was very, very close. Around the mark. More your F5 to F8 range. Depending on who gets DPP. Like, for example, if we get Luke Parker, who's might get it, he will probably be I'd have him ahead of Treloar. So you need a sub 520k player. So I think actually out of these three, it's probably Tom Green. I think Pendles they each come with their own risks. So Pendles is old. He's 34. Does he stay more halfback for the rest of the year? Don't know. I don't like bringing in players who are 34. I don't like it. So if I had to pick out of these three, I think it's actually Tom Green. But yeah, even like speculative worries me a bit. But yeah, he looks really good. Jalen Pavlidis sitting at 13 1,300 without using a trade. Think I'm going to launch Gorn and Bruce and bank 400k of upgrades. Yeah, go for it. I think I would use that 400k this week though. That's probably extra 50 points on field. So if you can, I would do that. Without using a trade, holy cow, that's good. Ethan Wilson, would you recommend going Rochelle to Nick Martin? Gives me 170k in the bank next week and would have 32 trades left. I think Nick Martin has to come in, and if you don't like, if Rochelle's like, you think Rochelle's your worst rookie, then yes. Unfortunate, because I think Rochelle's got another 100k in him, but Nick Martin must come in. That'll be very negative pod if you don't have Nick Martin. You can even field Martin over Rochelle too. Unk96, what are your thoughts on Marshall Whitfield and Winston Stewart? Marshall Whitfield, Winston Stewart. Well, I'm not sure Winston's a keeper. Remember, he's come off an ACL, so I would just do Marshall to English. I think Whitfield won't drop too much, and now that you've committed to holding, you didn't trade last week. I don't think it's something you backflip on now. Yeah, he doesn't look good. 96 this week. Yeah, I would just go straight to English, and I think Whitfield won't. Whitfield might drop a little bit more, but it's a bit hard to fix him unless you want to go straight to Sicily. So I would just do Marshall straight to English and hold Whitfield because I don't think he'll drop too much more. He could drop like 30-40k more, but yeah, then it's like, how do you get that? How do you correct him and correct Marshall at the same time? It's a little tricky. I wouldn't go Marshall to Wits. I'd go Marshall to English. So that's what I would do. Stephen McKenzie, thoughts on going early on Priest this week if he's named with Marshall and Ryder? Trading Mike up. Yeah, just do it. Trade him. McGovern to Priest, get it done. Hey mate, I don't have Martin. Feels like he's a must-have rookie out of my bench. Durden, Dixon, Rochelle, Ward, McDonald, Hayes, Stevens. Who would you get rid of him? And I am in a similar boat if I have to trade in Priest this week because I have Hayes R2. This is so hard. Okay, let's go. Durden, no. They have a soft fixture. He's going to make money, and he's good. Dixon will actually make some decent money, I think. Maybe like 100k, possibly more. He's mature age. He's getting a bit of ruck time. He's looked okay. Probably averages like 50. Rochelle, 240k. He's got more money to make. He's like literally had like one bad game, so I'd hold Rochelle. I think he's got more money. Ward has more money to make. I wouldn't be trading Ward. I wouldn't be trading McDonald. He's looked really good. Hayes has negative break even, but that big score is coming out of his price cycle, and now he's yeah, it's hard to score when you're like the third or fourth key forward, and his job security is probably the worst. So I'm gonna say Hayes and Stevens. If Stevens has dropped, probably Stevens, but he probably comes back and make money. So I'd probably say Stevens if he's dropped, just because everyone else is making money and he's not right now, so it's money now. I think Dixon should make more money than Hayes from here, given there's like a 90k difference. So I think Stevens if dropped, if not Hayes, but I think Hayes will make money this week. So it really sucks, but he has to come in for someone. It's Stevens, Hayes, or Dixon. Okay, it's probably either Hayes and Dixon if Stevens plays. So I think pick one of those two. And honestly, it's really hard to tell. Even like, see the ins for West. If Dixon's keeping out some players, then maybe it's just Hayes you get rid of. It's a really hard one because you're getting rid of, they're all good to hold, all of them, but Martin has to come in. So, yeah. Shane Aaron, hold your trades this week. Oh, so Shane Aaron, hold your trades this week, George. No need to at all this week looking at that team. Yeah, I am not using more, potentially one on Bruce, and if, depending on what happens with Jack Hayes, otherwise, yeah, I'll hold. Ben Watkinson, oh my god, 2055, same as me. Congrats, you managed to jinx McRae. That's something special. Yeah, it is. It's unreal just how this happens all the time, but whatever. Bring in McRae, he just should have bought in value, but when you bring in value, there is risk. So maybe should have dug a bit deeper into other picks. Jacob Petrilli, hey George, if Priest could speak this week, is he a must-have for us Hayes R2 gang? Yes, he is. I know the scoring and money-making potential outweighs the durability risk, which I'm still kind of worried about, but yeah, huge reward, high to moderate risk for the price. Footy Law, is it a good idea to trade out Zach Butters? No. No, don't do that. He copped a bad hit. He said he felt like throwing up because of the hit he cops from Pepper. Do not trade Butters. Cameron Williams, I got 2-1-1-6, fielded Stevens and Rochelle, not great. I'm not sure there's an actual question here. Yeah, so you're preparing to buy Priest, yeah, that's fine. Harry Koo, Owens and Martin, leaving 160k in the bank. Is it worth going Stevens to Shield Cardwell or just hold? Hold. Shield's been okay. He's had an injury in the preseason. He was injured in round 2. A little dicey though. I don't know about Caldwell, and Caldwell's had 20 million hamstrings. The irony is I have Aaron Hall, but he played 20 games last year. Just a hiccup in the preseason, minor hamstring. I kind of regret that, to be honest, but I don't like taking durability risk on trading in. Yeah. No, I just hold the money, wait for the upgrade. Depends who's on your field. If you got Stevens or Ward was on your field, then I think you could go to Shield if you want. No, it's not. It's kind of pointless because they're going to make the same money, but you get a bit more points on field. I'd probably just hold. I think Ward will come good. Corey Blackidge, what do you think of Mitch McGowan to Nick Martin and Rochelle to Tim English? I'm going to say yes because while I would like to hold Rochelle, English is going up as well, and you get a keeper. Do it. I cannot pronounce this dude's name. Georgios Xiopolitos. Zipolitos. George, they want to look after Dagos. Don't forget it's hard roll mid and forward. That's why McRae is playing him off half back. Get some games together. Yeah, that's perfectly fair. So yeah, I was saying in my video, why aren't they using him more forward of the ball? But they're just trying to manage him a little bit because he's missed a lot of footy last year. That makes sense. So that's a very good point. Skater Boy, my rookie defenders are Hinge, McCartan, Taconi and Sin. Should I do a correction? Sin for someone else, maybe a Driscoll. I don't know about Driscoll's. I don't know about O'Driscoll's job security. I think Sin will get some games at some point. Yeah, I don't know about O'Driscoll. I think Erasmus might be ahead of him, and they got Mundy and Strong coming back in. I'd probably hold off on that, just because I don't know about O'Driscoll's job security. But he has a potential to be a good rook. But yeah, it's that's the problem. You trade out a dead rookie for potentially another dead one. So I think the risk is probably not worth it, to be honest. But I do like O'Driscoll. I think he didn't impose himself on the game as much as I thought he could on the weekend. I'd probably hold off. Yeah, just not sure he holds a spot, but I think he'll be decent. McRae and Hall looked very safe picks. Unlucky to cop those 2 low scores. They'll find a way to bounce back. They'll bounce back. I have 120k to Blow, Rochelle to Gollant, Dixon, and Berry to English Green. Yes, I'd do that because even though they have more money to make, Green and English are going up. So yeah, I'd do that. With Gollant, Thilthorpe should be playing ones. I think Gollant, I like him. I think the Crows should play him as much as possible, but he played again. He scored 4 goals. His disposal count was low, and it was against Port with no Elias. Skinner went down. I think maybe Dixon over Gollant. I'm not sure. I think Dixon's role was a little bit better with a bit of ruck time, but if Dixon's named second ruck again and no Bailey Williams, I think Dixon. Barry to English Green, yep, whichever one you like. I like English because he's more likely to be top in his position than Green, but Green has a high ceiling. Hey, George, thoughts on Whitfield to Sinclair straight swap? I spoke about Sinclair at the start of the video. I'm not too sure. So maybe, yeah, look at the start of the video for my answer on that. I think it was like the first or second question. What are your thoughts on Gorna Priest, Owens to Brody, Rochelle to Sinclair? Brody went up 83% Togger. I feel like I need to give him in at this point. Oops. Yeah, it does feel bad not owning Brody. Did I answer this before? Yeah, I think it's fine. It's a lot of trades though. It does dramatically increase your on-field points. You don't have to, but I think Brody probably makes as much as Rochelle at this point in terms of money. I mean, Brody maybe gets to like 450, potentially more. Rochelle probably gets another 100. So yeah, Brody maybe makes a little bit more than Rochelle at this point. Yeah, I think it's okay. You got to be sold on these picks. I'm sold on Brody. I know Priest will score. Just we know the risks that come with him, and Sinclair I think will be okay. Just not 100% sure though. What is Pate Nation's job security like? Locked into him, but unsure of role when Eagles are full flight or even a spot on the team. Well, I think he's done enough to keep playing. Well, I think they were going to play Chester on the wing, and then Nation's gobbled that roll up now, so I think you keep playing. Ben Moore, hey George, don't have Martin. All my rookies are playing thus far, so I'm not sure who to trade out of Rochelle, Ward, Stevens, and Martin. Yeah, this is awful. To Martin. I hate... If Stevens has dropped, Stevens. Otherwise, probably Rochelle. Ward's getting a lot of CBAs, and he played against Carlton, so that's like the toughest mid matchup right now. Probably that and the Dogs, so probably Rochelle, because you bank the most money. Stevens dropped than Stevens. I really hate to get rid of any three, to be honest. I think they'll all be good. All got at least 100k more in them. Tom Theodore. A lot of Greek people today. Gov to Bruce this week in one trade, or Gov to Bruce this week in one trade, or Gov and Berry to Heaney and Rookie. Looks like Bruce will be, or do we look at Bruce next week? I assume this must be like a Hayes or English R2 or something. You can go early on Bruce to grab the points, but we know that his durability risks, and we know that he might get rested, but he'll probably come back in if he is, because he got coach's vote, so he should keep playing. Maybe look at Bruce next week and then go get Heaney in this week. That's what I'll do. Heaney will be fun to own, hopefully, the next 2 weeks. Rob, is going to English and Rochelle to Heaney worth it? Yes. If you have the money left over and you can do that in 2 trades, yes. Thoughts on Bruce R2 worked well this week. Do I need to get Whitfield out? He's being already used 5 trades. I know using a lot of trades is quite bad, but we do have a lot of value, that a lot of money makers this year, more so than last year. So I think hopefully we'll be okay. I guess it just depends on injuries and if we get good downgrades. I'm still in the camp of getting rid of Whitfield. It's just a bit harder. It should have been done last week. So, yeah, he just needs to show that he has to turn it around, but I haven't seen signs of that yet, despite scoring 95. And yeah, Bruce R2, again, it's like, do you want to take the risk? If it gets you more on-field points, if it gets you like Rochelle F6, instead of Rochelle F6, now you have Bruce R2 with some DPP work, that could be extra 50 points. So I think it's almost worth it for that. But yeah, we know the risks. Daniel Trembath. Have only made the 2 trades so far and don't have Will Brody. So thoughts on either Rochelle or Stevens to Brody? If so, which one to get rid of? Probably Rochelle. Get rid of for Brody if you want to do that one trade. I think that's okay if it gets you on-field points. You could just hold, to be honest. Finn Myrtle. Note to self, drop every player George brings in. I know. I'll let you know my trades on Twitter. So maybe Bruce this week, depending on Hayes. So don't bring Bruce in if I bring him in, for sure. Joe Coleman, kill me right there with you, George. Yeah, it's still early. It's whatever. More to life than Supercoach. Or is there? No, there is. Ash Devers, any rookie, 170k or below, worth trading in for Owens, Martin. That's about it. Maybe Reef next week. Dylan, Eustace. Started Dangerfield, would you trade or hold to Heaney or English? Danger's not top of position, just get rid of him. He's old. He'll be good, but he's not top in position in the midfield. You could trade a Heaney or English who are top in position. So if you haven't overtraded, I think you can do that. Look, Dangerfield probably score similar to these two anyway, but again, later on when Dangerfield drops a bit, Heaney and English are only going up. So, Caesar Augustus. I like that last name. Dropped Whitfield last week for Hall and Hall goes 70 this week, such as Supercoach. Yep, I feel ya. What do you think of McGovern West Coast? Obviously a bit of durability risk, but dropping 115 plus on 2% ownership is a great pod. I mean, he's getting so much supply back there. It'd be funny if he just has this stupid uber premium season. Yeah, I think too much durability and roll might not always be good. It's just, I don't love it, to be honest. It'd be kind of funny if he was like D1 because of how bad West Coast are though, but not something I would do. Don't even try me to pronounce this one. No, QU Quorthington. Okay, it wasn't that hard. I think Gresham is worth a shout. He cleans up his disposal efficiency. He's good 105 this year. He's the main man of the Saints. Yeah, I've been impressed with Gresham. Yeah, he's having like 25 touches a game, something like that. It looks really good. Limited preseason, injury prone. Probably had to start with him. I guess yeah. It's interesting because they're using him more mid, and they said we're using him a fair bit in the mid, I think. And they said in the preseason he's more forward mid, and then he'll move into the mids at some point. So, look, I think he's an okay pick if you want to grab him this week. Still probably cheap. What is he, 350 or something now? I think that's fine. But yeah, I'm just going to let it go. White Shadow 59. Apparently Whitfield didn't look good for his 96, thinking of trading him to Bowie, also McGovern or Dow to Brody. Or McGovern to Dow, Brody. I'd probably go Brody. And then that's the problem. You're going and keeper to non-keeper. You should never go. Look, if you do like a one up and down each line, that's 2 trades, but you should have the same amount of keepers as before. With this, you are going a keeper, what you thought was a keeper, to a non-keeper, and then a mid-pricer to a mid-pricer. So unless you think Brody's a keeper, this is a completely butchered trade. So you need to use that money from Whitfield to Bowie to get a premium in another line. So I would not do it. Yeah. Is Owens to Gollan a good idea? Look, I like Gollan. I just think I don't know what he sustains. I think that Thilthorpe. So the Crows, Fogarty's going to get dropped. So Taylor Walker's back in. So they can probably only run the 3 tolls. Himmelberg's been good. Gollan's been good. And Thilthorpe is still not in. So Thilthorpe probably comes in for whoever's worse out of Gollan and Himmelberg over the next few weeks, I would think. So I don't know how if he holds. But he looks good. He's not going to kick 4 every week either. So I think it's one you can let go. I'd probably wait a week on Reef McGuinness. I think Reef will be a better scorer. So maybe wait a week for Reef. Is this a good trade? Gawn, Chapman and Owens to Bruce Bowie Cripps. Is that worth 3 trades? I think you need Cripps. I think it's okay then. But I don't know. I don't know about Bowie for 320k. I probably wouldn't. I hold Chapman. He's got 100. Don't go Chapman to Bowie this week. Last week, okay. This week, no. Holshin, would you go Berry to Green if you just had over 200k? I like the play. I like how aggressive that is. It's something I would do if I could. I can't do it. I'm not moving mountains to get Green in. I guess my stance on Green is I'm not sure if he keeps this up or not. He's still 3rd year. Had a hamstring late last year. What does his CBAs look like for the entire year? Not sure. You could do it because you go on mid-pricer to potential keeper. So, and if not, well, Green's going to make money and you sideways him later if something doesn't work out, and it should be a really strong price. But I guess you're picking him as a keeper. So, you know what? I think I'd go for it. I think it's a kind of fun play to do. But yeah, again, not 100% sure on Green CBAs for the year and output, but it looks unreal. Looks all Australian form. Chocolate Bear 333. I honestly watch this channel now for comedic value because some of the advice is not good. And I have to agree with everything. It's whatever. Yeah, don't have to agree with everything. DMAC 041. Who do I get rid of out of Rochelle, Ward, Stephen, Dixon, Hayes, and Durden? Feel as if I have to ditch one to get Martin in. Yeah, I can't answer this before. I think it's Hayes or Dixon. Or Stevens if he's dropped. I think Dixon will make a little bit of money though. I'm leaning towards Hayes. Hayes is capable, so put it this way. Not Ward, not Durden. If you needed the money, then you could get rid of Rochelle. Because he's the most money to bank right now. I think I answered this 15 minutes ago. Joshua Kawasaki. I like that name. Is Tom Green top 10 potential? Yes. Potential, yes. Is he a lock? No. Mariam Abbas, what do you think of moving Rochelle to Brody? I don't think it's worth a trade. Again, like Brody's played 3-week teams, played West Coast twice. Played West Coast 3 times out of the 5 games. So, played the Crows their week, played the Saints mids. Brayshaw scored nearly 200 on them. They're not super difficult to score against. So, nah. If you thought Brody was a keeper, yes. Otherwise, no. Shane Aaron, you are very reactionary, but in saying this, it's kind of refreshing to see and rate your video and insights. Your team should be fine for the next 2-3 weeks. I hope so. So there we go. Thoughts on going Daniel Rich to Jaden Short? Probably not. I think that Daniel Rich didn't see much ball back there. Interesting. I don't think it's worth a trade. Rich should be fine. Free Girl was looking at getting Green in this week, but I feel like his output will decline once Toby Green is back from suspension. Toronto moves to the mids as potentially what could happen. Very much. But he did score okay with low CBA, like, was it like 50% CBAs in the first few rounds, so who knows. That is a risk though, I agree. Desi Carter, Gorn, Grundy, Rochelle out, English, Bruce, Clary in. Oh boy. I don't think that's worth 2 trades. I think if you want to do... I think what you do here is you go Gorn to English, and then just the one trade, Gorn to English, hold Grundy, and then next week you swing English forward for Bruce. If for somebody else, that's what I would do. I think that's not worth a boost 3 trades. And whoops, click on his profile. Whoops, we got all the way down. Yeah, don't do that. Okay, next question. Jordan Curry. So I've got Marshall, he's not looking too good. Should I go down to Bruce or English? I'd go to English. And then if Bruce looks good next week, grab him in the fold, swing English. Or maybe go Tom Green. No, I'd go English, I think. Yeah, Green's got the ceiling, but English I feel is a little safer. More likely to be top in position. Roy Houston, do you think it's worth trading much in English? Yes. Hey George, should I trade Rowan? Yes. CBAs are all over the place, and he looked a little off. Look, he could come good, but yeah, it was underdone coming into round 1, I think, and don't know what his CBAs look like with Ryder. Looked quite worse than what we expected. Who do I get in Martin if I don't have? Who do I get in Martin for if I don't have Rochelle? Dixon? Yeah, I guess it's Dixon, but I think Dixon will be okay. Does Martin make 150k more than Dixon? I think probably. Rochelle out for Dixon. Rochelle break even 42. I would hold off. Not worth a trade. Rochelle's got better job security, and he's got a big score in him. But he's got cleaned up by Power Pepper from Braden Chapman. Yes, he did. That's why he scored bad, I think. 2-2-8-8 this week. Very nice. That's really good. This is kind of funny. Love you though, George. Thanks, man. I'll do my best. Josh Neville, poor call on Kane Turner shows your football knowledge. Footy knowledge. He gave Liam Ryan a bath last year. Well, I said Turner's not a very good tagger in the midfield, and I still stand by that. Patrick Bateman, wholesome. Does it come across that way? Because I'm very sooky, like McRae on a wing this week. Yep. Ooh. Okay, that's enough. Anyway, that's the Q&A. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the team video on Thursday night. So, till then, we'll see you next time.